Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to the magnificent city of Ghent, and welcome to the official award ceremony of the EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade 2021. My name is Valerie, and I will be your master of ceremony today. Over the course of the next 2 hours, I am looking forward to share this moment with you here in Ghent, but also with everybody who is going to connect or connected virtually and intervening and also following. As we all are aware, the ceremony is a hybrid one due to the measures involved with the COVID-19 pandemic. We would have loved to have you all here with us, but that's not possible. So we organized this event to the best of our abilities, completely COVID-proof here in Ghent. Thank you to the city for helping us. For those of you connecting virtually, you can see on the platform who is connected, and of course, you can also send emails and network with them. As you may know, the award ceremony is being hosted here in Ghent, and it is the official moment of the passing of the baton. The city of Ghent was named the very first EU city for fair and ethical trade in 2018, and championing the award in 2019 and 2020. Today, we shall announce the second Sustainable Trade Champion. I would have loved right now to warmly welcome our mayor and vice-mayor. Unfortunately, they will attend shortly. But I would like to extend a warm welcome to the Director of DG Trade, Eva Sinjovic. The EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade Award is an initiative of the European Commission, the Directorate General for Trade, DG Trade, based on a commitment in its 2015 Trade for All communication on trade and investment strategy. The initiative is implemented by the International Trade Center, ITC. We will have interventions live from both ITC in Geneva and the European Commission. The award aims to recognize, celebrate and scale up cities' achievements in the area of sustainable, fair and ethical trade with third countries, which can bring more sustainable opportunities to producers elsewhere and thus support sustainable inclusive development. Overall, the award illustrates how EU cities can set an example by having a global impact on sustainable, fair and ethical trade across borders through local efforts. You may ask yourself, why another award? Well, most of us will be watching this moment from a place in a city. Yes, today over 70% of all European citizens live in cities. Cities are the beating heart of Europe, leading the way in regards to fair and ethical trade. The European Union wanted to promote the role of cities for being the key to changing attitudes and behaviors when it comes to trade. 2020 has shown us that to solve global problems, we need to work together. There is just no other way. Now more than ever, we need to pay more attention to the way we consume. We hold the key to ensuring that how and what we consume has a positive impact on our local communities and also communities that city trade with other continents. Now, I hope you're all comfortable and relaxed and ready for a moment with the EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade family. I hope you have your coffee, your tea, and I hope that you are very excited, as I am. I am really looking forward to the 3-minute pitches from the different countries and cities. You can follow also on social media, on the platforms Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And don't forget to use our hashtag Trade City Awards. Trade City Award. We want to build a real community, and we hope you want to be part of this. After the ceremony, you will be sent a survey, since we appreciate and want to know your feedback in order to improve. This year, we received applications from 11 cities, representing 6 different EU countries, which is really exciting, considering this year has been dominated by COVID-19. And the cities had to put all their energy and focus on managing this pandemic. However, even in the midst of a global crisis, sustainable and fair trade seems to still be high on the agenda of many cities. After much deliberation, the evaluation committee shortlisted 5 cities as finalists for this edition. They are Bremen, Gothenburg, Malmö, Neumarkt, and Stuttgart. We will listen to live interventions from the 5 cities as they will explain to us what they have designed for their city. We will then announce the winner, the next Sustainable Trade Champion. I want to highlight that there is also room for special mentions. So although the winner will be announced, the ceremony will continue. So please stay tuned until the end. I will tell you when it's over. On this note, it is my great pleasure to introduce the European Commission's Executive Vice President and EU Commissioner for Trade, Valdis Dombrovskis, with an official video intervention who will officially launch this ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to take part in this important ceremony. First, I would like to thank the International Trade Center for the great cooperation that has made this award possible. Let me also thank the city of Ghent, the winner of the first edition, for hosting us today and for its active role as an ambassador for the award. Ghent won the title because of the city's government's demonstrable commitment to putting ideas into practice, a packed program of events, and its impressive pedigree as Belgium's first fair trade city. The prize was funding for a cooperation project between a European Union city and a partner city outside the EU. The city of Ghent chose to cooperate with Sakhneval in India. You will hear more about this project later. The EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade Award was established to recognize and support local initiatives. We wanted to encourage future efforts in sustainability by cities in promoting fair trade. In 2018, our first network for fair and ethical trade EU cities was set up to share ideas and promote some of the fantastic initiatives that are already happening across Europe. This has been a great success. It is easy to understand why local and regional authorities can make a real difference. Local representatives are pragmatic and practical. They think about how to improve real things for people by making thousands of small changes implemented on a daily basis. European cities are taking the lead when it comes to changing consumer behavior, informing people, and promoting fair and ethical trade. It is even more true in the context of the COVID-19 crisis. During this pandemic, local and regional authorities have provided emergency services, communicated on how to contain the spread of the virus, coordinated efforts, and mitigated the impact on economies. I'm very pleased that a number of cities still managed to keep the sustainability at the heart of their activities and took the time to apply for the award even during those challenging times. We received applications from all across Europe, and we are very happy that cities in Poland, Romania, and Italy joined the application process for the first time. It has been truly inspiring to see what cities around Europe are doing to promote fair and ethical trade. We have cities with long histories of promoting fair and ethical trade, and other cities that are new to the game. Some of the most interesting and important projects have centered around public procurement. When a city makes its policy fair and ethical for sourcing products, this sends a strong message for businesses to meet that goal. But the impact goes beyond those involved in the transaction. It also makes a statement about a city's values. This year, many projects focused on community engagement and education. Projects varied from fair trade expos to the development of educational materials on global learning, social justice, and fair trade. As I learned about these projects, I was consistently impressed by the political commitment, detail, and creativity involved. As I said earlier, we are building a network of cities working together to achieve our long-term goal. Bremen, Göteborg, Zielona Góra, Neumarkt, and Stuttgart will join this network of cities going forward. Open global trade is not a given anymore. The dangers of protectionism and closing up are never far away. We need to remind and persuade people to the opportunities that come from fair and ethical trade. A progressive and inclusive trade policy is a very important first step, but concrete actions by local authorities and active citizens is how change starts on the ground. That change is already happening, and with this in mind, let me thank all our applicant cities for your hard work. Your efforts are a crucial step in ensuring that trade works for us all. So to conclude, thank you and the best of luck to all of you.
Thank you, Commissioner Dombrovskis. And indeed, cities must take the lead into these changing worlds to make it more sustainable, fair, and ethical. And now I would like to welcome our new Minister for Development Cooperation, Meriam Kitir. Thank you for joining us. And our Vice Mayor, Tine Heijsen. Thank you for making time for us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, cities have traditionally been hubs for global trade, serving as gateways for Europe's economic links with the rest of the world. The bulk of the EU's consumption is therefore driven by city consumers. As such, EU cities have great potential to drive sustainable consumption and production patterns through trade. Now let me give you a quick overview of the benefits of this award. The winning city will implement a cooperation project with ITC technical support in a developing country. The project is an opportunity for the winning city to make a positive impact on its areas of specialization vis-à-vis sustainable, fair, and ethical trade. Generally, the idea behind the implementation of the cooperation project is to help encourage cities in the EU to increase contacts with cities in developing countries. And on a final note, before I pass the floor to the next speaker, I must emphasize, and I think it is really a really important benefit of this award, that all shortlisted cities will automatically be offered membership in the network of EU cities for fair and ethical trade. This is why I mentioned the words family and community earlier. The network is indeed an informal structure facilitating the exchange of best practices as well as practical approaches and solutions related to sustainable, fair and ethical trade on a city level. Network members can even consider coordination of joint action and collaboration on projects. On this note, I will pass the floor virtually to ITC Executive Director Pamela Cook-Hamilton. ITC is the joint agency of the World Trade Organization and the United Nations, fully dedicated to supporting the internationalization of small and medium-sized enterprises. ITC has implemented this award since its inception. And if everything goes right now, Pamela, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to join you today for the second iteration of the EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade Award. I want to thank Commissioner Dombrovskis for his remarks and welcome him to his new portfolio. ITC and the EU have an excellent partnership, and we look forward to continuing and strengthening this collaboration as we plan for the recovery period. Sadly, the pandemic stops me from visiting the beautiful city of Ghent in person. I thank you, as the first winner of the EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade Award, for hosting today's event. I had planned that this would have been my first visit outside of Geneva since taking up my post as Executive Director on October 1st. But be assured I will be there in 2021 to fully appreciate all that you have to offer. Fair and ethical trade, and the SDGs more broadly, are firmly part of Ghent's vision and strategy, serving as an international guiding principle for cities' local politics. Ghent's 3 pillars of work on international solidarity, encompassing citizen awareness, support to fair and ethical entrepreneurs, and setting a global example as a city, are all reasons why you were the first winner of this award. Last week, ITC held its first ever Good Trade Summit on trade that is cleaner, fairer, and more resilient to shocks. Good trade is what characterizes ITC's work with stakeholders across the globe, as we believe that trade can be a powerful mechanism to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Good trade is also part of our response to the challenges triggered by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The summit was buzzing with the notion of building back better, and we all agreed that we should go even further to build back bolder, to place social responsibility and environmental protection at the heart of the recovery. Pursuing more resilient and sustainable societies requires nimbleness and urgent concrete action. Today, we're celebrating cities that have been doing just that. We keep hearing that in many ways, cities have been more important than ever. They are all different in sizes and backgrounds and geographical contexts, but they all face a similar set of global challenges, underscored by the rapid urbanization in recent years. The climate and biodiversity crisis, economic, social, and political tension, and the impact of the pandemic respects no national borders. In other words, we're all in this together, regardless of where we're from or where we live. This award, first and foremost, recognizes that in today's interconnected world, making more sustainable choices at the local level in the European Union will have positive ripple effects on people's livelihoods and the environment. The cities that were shortlisted as finalists for the second EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade Award are all trade hubs that are highly aware of their global role. They are true influencers who prioritize the narrative of sustainable making good business sense. And they continue to work to step up their game by adopting innovative policies, creating partnerships with their sister cities globally, and through nurturing the local communities, and with a particular accent on education programs centered on sustainable development. I'd like to commend and congratulate all cities that applied for this edition of the award in these difficult and uncertain times. Many of the first-time applicants came from the countries such as Italy, Poland, and Romania. The evaluators conceded that they had a much tougher job in evaluating the applications than during the first award, And this is not only because they had to hold their meetings on Zoom. So what are the key ingredients of a city's approach to sustainable trade that we uncovered? First, a strong vision and compelling strategy on the past, present, and especially the future role of fair and ethical trade in the city. We have seen that solving one challenge without the other does not work anymore, but rather taking an interconnected approach by, for instance, marrying fair and ethical with green and circular is the way forward. Second, forward-looking public sector policies and actions that promote the availability, purchase, and consumption of sustainable, fair, and ethical products to everyone. A particular focus was on the awareness of cities about their purchasing power as international buyers. Thirdly, diverse and innovative examples of awareness raising and knowledge building activities, reaching scale and impact regardless of their initial size. Fourth, multi-level action and vibrant ecosystems, which ensure active participation of communities, leaving no one behind or making it easy for everyone to do the right thing, were the city mottos that permeated some of the applications for the award this year. And finally, monitoring and evaluation systems that remind us that if you cannot measure it, you cannot change it. We at ITC will strive to showcase as much of this knowledge as possible in the next Sustainable Trade Champions report, to be released in 2021. We will not stop with the report, however. With our partner, DG Trade, we are giving space for the much needed diffusion of ideas for more sustainable trade through the network of EU cities for fair and ethical trade, which will expand from its first cohort in the coming months. I am passionate about bringing the concepts of good trade to all. Why? Because trade impacts us all, and good trade can be a lever to solve many of the seemingly intractable issues that face us today. The EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade initiative is a brilliant way to help communicate and raise awareness of ideas and the need for good trade to a broader audience. ITC is honored to support it. To achieve international commitments such as the SDGs or the Paris Agreement requires a bold action from all of us, from cities and municipalities, and from us as individual citizens. My message to you today is that we can chart a path toward a brighter future to engage stronger than we were before. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the entrants and to the eventual winner.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Pamela Cook-Hamilton, for this intervention. We definitely need to cooperate to achieve our sustainable goals and fair and ethical trade. Now, as I mentioned, we are here in the beautiful City Hall of Ghent. Past winners of this award with a full delegation of city officials. Ghent won the award, among other things, for its active role in promoting fair fashion. Before we listen to the 5 shortlisted cities' interventions, let's have a quick overview of what Ghent has learned, and may I say, gained, since becoming the award winner.
Dear participants, the Minister, welcome. Dear European cities nominated for the Fair and Ethical Trade Award, welcome in Ghent. We would have been very honored to welcome you all physically here in our beautiful city to show you exactly why fair and ethical trade runs through our Ghentian DNA. But circumstances decided otherwise, which means I can only welcome you in a digital meeting. But please, let me express the hope of receiving you all one day so you can enjoy our beautiful city center like so many before, and as shown on this picture in the presentation. Which brings me automatically to the next picture of 2 years ago. The city of Ghent winning the EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade Award. A beautiful moment for our city. We are still very proud of it. And a motivation for our City Council to work further very hard on this subject. Did the award have an impact on our city? Most certainly it did. My colleague Tine Heeso will tell you everything on the topic of fair trade specifically. But in general, this has put the city of Ghent on the map as a city of sustainability and solidarity. I'm happy to say that this is exactly how we want to be seen. Moreover, as our ambitions for our City Council are strong in these topics. Our General Director, Mieke Hullebroek, presented the city during an event in the context of the UN General Assembly, and we had the pleasure of receiving the European Commissioner, Cecilia Malmström, to Ghent. Ladies and gentlemen, the benefits of investing in a sustainable future are real. Please allow me also to highlight the fact that we are surrounded by strong women in this story, and as you can see on these pictures in the presentation. Which brings me to present our new Belgian Minister of Development Cooperation, Mirjam Kittir. Maybe it's not known by all our European friends, but 2 weeks ago there was a new Belgian government installed. Thank you, Minister, for attending this award ceremony. It is very, very much appreciated. I happily give the floor to our Deputy Mayor for North-South Cooperation, Tine Heeso. Tine, the floor is yours.
Dear European cities nominated for the Fair and Ethical Trade Award, dear participants, dear ladies and gentlemen. It was with great joy I received on behalf of the City of Ghent the award already 2 years ago. And as Deputy Mayor already said, the world has changed since that day. I believe the COVID-19 crisis shows the need for more sustainability. We need to increase our efforts to create a livable future for everyone. Never waste a good crisis. Let us use this moment to move forward. Our application 2 years ago told the story of our focus on textiles. Already before, we started working on fair trade many years ago, with focus on fair food. We serve fair coffee with fair sugar, buy fair bananas and offer fair tea. We wanted to take the story to the next level through a new product. In addition to fair food, fair textiles became our focus. Working conditions in textile factories are usually not fair, even inhuman. So we started raising awareness on the topic, organizing a fair fashion fest to promote our fair fashion pioneers and to inform Ghentians about the alternatives for fast fashion. And as a city, we decided to set an example by buying socially responsible workwear. As you can see on the slide, COVID-19 had also a major impact on the textile industry. Orders by Western companies were not maintained, pushing a lot of the textile workers into uncertainty and poverty. The most vulnerable people in the textile chain were affected once again. Our own fashion pioneers in Ghent succeeded where the fast fashion industry failed. They did not cancel full orders, but searched solutions for both partners. I believe that was possible because they know their partners in the textile producing countries and feel responsibility for the people in the factories. Bringing transparency back into the supply chain is a path to more responsibility and involvement in all steps of the chain, right down to textile workers in the global south. I strongly believe we can make a change through campaigns like the Fair Trade Towns. Ghent was the first city to obtain the title of Fair Trade Towns in Belgium. And last year, we were rewarded with the title Fair City of Flawless. On the picture, you can read "Fair trade begins in Ghent." For me, the most important word in this slogan is begins. Titles like Fair Trade Town and Fair Trade Award are as a recognition and reward of efforts we made in the past, together with a lot of stakeholders. But even more important, it also brings the responsibility with it to continue to live up to this title in the years to come. It is a start of further efforts in the field of fair and ethical trade. That is why I can announce today that in the coming years, in addition to fair food and fair textiles, we will also be working on fair and circular ICT. Only 2 weeks ago, we signed a letter of cooperation with Fair ICT Flanders to look closely at our procurement of ICT material. Fair trade is and will remain the priority of our work on international solidarity. We go beyond aid and choose to work on unequal economic and political power relations. Working on fair and ethical trade and trying to change the system is not something you do alone. In Ghent, we work together with a lot of organizations and local pioneers under the title Fair Trade Ghent. In Europe, we have the new network of European fair cities, a network where we welcome new members after the ceremony to exchange ideas. And working together also means looking at our partners in the Global South. As a result of winning this award, we had the opportunity to work with partners in India on the topic of fair textiles. But let me give the floor to Kanuka Aducha, who will tell you all about our cooperation.
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me here today. Yes, we started our project with the city of Ghent and ITC in Sahnewal, which is a small town in North India. Ludhiana is the larger city which engulfs the Sahnewal region, and therefore we extended this project to the Ludhiana area. The project first started with a scoping mission where we had delegates from the city of Ghent and ITC visit us in Ludhiana, and we visited the textile units there. It is a cluster of micro, small and medium enterprises, and we met with the several factories, the municipality, and to get a broader understanding of what the gaps in the industry were and how we could use this project to have a more information sharing and technical cooperation project with the city of Ghent and ITC. The second phase began when we had a clearer context of the issues prevalent there. Fair trade was a very new concept in the Ludhiana region, and we decided to hold a webinar on giving an introduction to what fair trade is and what fair trade cities are. This was an open webinar that we had for the community there, for NGOs, civil society, the municipality, as well as anybody interested in topics of sustainability and ethical trade. The second webinar was on resource efficiency and circular production, conducted specifically for the textile and clothing sector. After that, we created a steering committee who would take these plans forward. This steering committee is particularly focused on transitioning Sahnewal and Ludhiana to a fair trade town status. This committee consists of actors from all over India and the local region, from representing the industry, ethical functions like good weave, and representing the municipality and local political and advocacy groups, and fair trade practitioners and advocates who have been in the field since the last 20 years. The fourth phase began with the steering committee brainstorming with leaders of fair trade from Europe, from the Fair Trade Towns Committee, from Bangladesh and South Korea, representing Asia and how they have started developing fair trade towns, and fair trade actors from India and Ludhiana. We held a brainstorming session on 4 points, And we started coming up with ideas on how we can involve, for example, citizen engagement and community building. We came up with specific actions that could be taken up in Ludhiana. For example, doing a short film on what Ludhiana fair trade town could be, mapping fair trade businesses in and around the area, and making a manual for fair trade events. There was a big consensus on working collaboratively with fair trade towns around the world and take inspiration from how they have reached there. And of course, involving local stakeholders like the media, restaurants, and local industry associations. Another brainstorming issue was, what are the benefits of becoming a fair trade town? For this, we want to focus on the textile sector and make it a fair trade supplying cluster in India. This would become the first cluster which can become a certified fair trade cluster, which has fair wages for workers even in smaller manufacturing setups, and by this way be able to attract more buyers to the city. We need to definitely showcase these benefits on social media and a booklet publication, and combining it with larger national movements like the smart city initiatives. The third point is advocating for policy. We decided that specific measures have to be taken with business associations and the support of the government. Public procurement was a big theme that came out of these discussions, and we will be working and advocating for fair public procurement and to understand what are the current initiatives and how we can link them with larger FTT campaigns. The fourth focus, which is the main focus of our initiative right now, is engaging with the businesses and the current ecosystem over there. We got a great idea from the brainstorming session of doing an award or a contest for the local businesses there to understand the landscape of the businesses, about how ethical and sustainable they are right now, and recognizing these initiatives to take them forward. Transparency is another key issue that we need to work on to reach the fair trade consensus. We want to involve large brands and attract media to create an effective business case, which can become a case study for other businesses to follow in the local area. For the way forward, the steering committee has developed a one-year plan with very specific goals. On the community side, we want to conduct a community event which involves startups, schools, and local influencers who can broaden this fair trade movement and create more awareness about what this movement is. On the industry side, for the first year, we are seeking commitments from 2 textile manufacturers to become fair trade. This would be the hardest step. And after that, once we can showcase the success of these first early adapters, we will be able to enable a domino effect. On the advocacy side, we are advocating for fair public procurement with the local and state government. We'll, of course, be showcasing all our initiatives on social media channels and try to get as much coverage as possible in the media, in the local and national media, and create blogs on fair trade. We have already linked this with the National Fair Trade Towns India movement, and we are wanting to create a more collaborative model with international movements like Twin Towns. For a 5-year vision, we ultimately see Ludhiana and Sahnewal becoming a fair textiles cluster. And we also want to start educating on fair trade from an early age and add it to the school curriculum. We want to create a fair supply chain, which also positively affects the farmers with a fair produce market and a digital platform for farmers where they can directly connect with consumers. And definitely all of this is not possible without involvement by local stakeholders, the municipalities, restaurants, startups, and the local bodies there. Finally, we would like to seek recognition as a fair trade town, and that would be our ultimate mission. Thank you. Back to you, Ghent.
Thank you, Kanika, and thank you, Vice Mayor and Deputy Mayor, for this explanation. It seems actually very cool to win this award. A fascinating project is coming out of India. So much can be done when it comes to trade and benefits everyone involved, especially the people who are producing the products. This is a perfect example, which I'm sure can inspire other cities to create similar relations with trading partners. Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, the big moment is coming. It is time to turn to this year's shortlisted cities. As you know, there are 5 cities in the running. The 5 shortlisted cities by the evaluation committee, which consisted of 10 people who were chosen after a call for application. They reviewed and analyzed each application. So a big thank you for their hard work behind the scenes. Now, the cities have presented their project to a jury in September, and today we will call city by city in alphabetical order to pitch their reasons for applying to this award. We have asked them to talk to us and to share their stories. So get ready for some interesting and inspiring interventions. Let's call on the cities. And now the fun part will start. I'm passing the floor to Bremen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jörn Hendricks, and I am here with my colleague Annika in our historic town hall right in the city center of Bremen. We are extremely honored and happy to be one of the shortlisted cities for the EU Cities of Fair Trade and Ethical Trade. As an old merchant city and a member of the Hanseatic League, trade has been the main pillar of our economy for centuries. Today, Bremen is an international and open city with strong ties to many parts of the world. However, it is also true that our city has largely benefited from unfair trade. The first merchants going to the land that is now Namibia to make it into a German colony were from Bremen. The people there have greatly suffered from the oppressions of colonialism and the exploitation of their resources. Nowadays, we are still in the process of reconciliation, and we see fair trade as one element of our commitment of fighting the repercussions of colonialism. Today, we are more connected to the world than ever before. We are an international city with people from more than 150 countries living here in Bremen. Many of those people have strong ties to their home countries, and some of them have even started fair trade companies and established trade between Bremen and their home regions. This, for example, is the official Bremen City coffee, of course with our famous town musicians on the package. It is from a company jointly founded by 2 students, one from Bremen and one from Cameroon. They now import coffee, fruits, spices, and other products from a cooperative in Cameroon following the fair trade principle. This is just one of many examples of a variety of initiatives and organizations promoting fair and ethical trade in our city. They have been working hard for decades, long before our politicians or anyone in our administration even became involved. Without them, we would not have implemented all the measures we have today, such as our city's fair and ethical procurement or the use of fair trade goods within our administration. Their commitment is the reason why we apply to become Europe's new fair and ethical trade capital. They deserve this recognition even beyond the borders of Bremen and Germany. It is unfortunate that due to all the restrictions, we could not come to Ghent in person, but they are all watching this event right now, and we all together hope that we can welcome you all as winners and future hosts for the next award ceremony in 2 years here in Bremen. Thank you very much, and back to Ghent.
Thank you, Bremen, for this very interesting intervention. I think it's very interesting to see that companies are starting to trade with cities and countries they are originated from. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all listen up to Göteborg.
First, I would like to take a few seconds to thank the people that have been working with this award and has endured all the strange questions from us in Gothenburg. You have done an amazing job. I also want to give some love out to the other cities that are here today. No matter who wins, the real gain with this award is that our cities has come together, and because of this, there will be even more fair and ethical trade. So, stories. There. I've been working with fair trade for around 25 years, and I think we all have stories to tell. Stories about fair trade that has helped families, women, and children all over the world. Real help and real change on a grassroots level. From personal stories to massive success stories. Even though we wished it had gone a little bit faster, things have actually changed. We are proud that the world's first fair trade shop started here in Gothenburg back in 1969. We are also proud over the hard work and the efforts the locals and established fair folks have done through the years. That has made sure that we just didn't have the first shop, but also it has passed down among younger generations. For example, with Nudie Jeans, founded in Gothenburg, and now one of the world's largest sustainable clothing brands. We are also proud to take part of the fair and ethical trade history, and we will make sure that we'll keep making history. So to conclude, all the hard work of the people starting the first fair trade shops, the people who sat through long meetings negotiating the standards, the thousands of people in Europe who've been advocating fair trade, and all the people in businesses from both the south and north, I would like to say thank you and keep up the good work. That's all from us from Gothenburg right now. Now back to Ghent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gothenburg. What an enthusiasm. Well, now to another part of Sweden, Malmö. Are you ready to tell us all your ideas? The floor is yours.
Good morning, world, or good morning, Europe, at least. So my name is Olof Kjellgarn, and unfortunately, my colleague Arvin, who should have done this intervention, is late, but fortunately, we are many people here working on fair and ethical trade, so I will step in. I work here at Malmö. We are Sweden's first fair trade city in 2006. This was a time when fair and ethical trade was really rare. Actually, our coffee was only 0.5% ethically certified, and even that was pretty good since that was 14 years ago. It's quite amazing to see now how we, as a teenager, we are at 99% ethically certified coffee, and it's something that is quite well established. All of this work is a part of our transition from a city of industry. We have had one of the world's largest ship wharfs here in Malmö, Kockums, and also car manufacturers. When those industries closed down, we needed to make a transition to something new, and that was the city of sustainability and knowledge. And on this journey, we have applied to this award for the second time this round. The first time in 2018 when we were shortlisted, as well as this year. We didn't win though, but we were really happy to see that Ghent in Belgium, who I had never personally talked to anyone from, that they won. And we were really inspired during these 2 years that by their heartfelt commitment to the issue of fair working clothes, how they searched more knowledge about this, and also their openness in sharing what they've learned. We also want to apply because we want to learn what this knowledgeable jury of all these experts on fair and ethical trade, what they can tell us about what they think Malmö does well in this international context. We know we're good at music, but fair and ethical trade is also something that we want to champion. So I'm sure you can hear it. In Malmö, we aim to be a city of knowledge, and right now we want to be a climate neutral city. And if we win, this is something that we want to also make ethical. So we are very excited, and thank you from us. Back to you, the city of Ghent.
Tack så mycket, Malmö. As you can see, trading can be done in a fair and ethical way. It just required the will and the creativity. Stay with me, audience, as we now go to introduce Neumarkt. I'm sure their reasons for applying will also be very interesting.
Hello from Neumarkt. I would like to introduce to you Mr. Sebastian Schauer. He is currently responsible, the Councillor for Sustainability in Neumarkt. He is present in behalf of our Lord Mayor, Mr. Thomas Thumann, who sends greetings as a great supporter of sustainability and fair trade. Mrs. Hu Dorner, she is head of the One World Association in Neumarkt, as well as the One World shop here in Neumarkt. And last but not least, Ms. Marina Malta. She's project manager at the Fair Trade Agency of the Metropolitan Region of Nuremberg, and she's head of the branch office here in Neumarkt. My name is Ralf Mützel. I'm the head of the Department for Sustainable Development here at the city of Neumarkt. I'm also the coordinator of the Fair Trade campaign here in Neumarkt. And perhaps you know, Neumarkt isn't a very big city. When we compare it with the other cities here today, we are a middle-sized city in the metropolitan region of Nuremberg with about 40,000 inhabitants. We are the first fair trade town in Bavaria since 2009, and we are really very proud of being the officiating capital of fair trade in Germany. And here you can see our award we got last year in Cologne. What's the secret of our success? Firstly, the engagement of really great stakeholders, many stakeholders here in Neumarkt. Secondly, the persistence over a really long period, since 3 decades now. And thirdly, a cross-sectoral approach to sustainability in town policy as well as in administration. We applied for the EU Fair Trade Award because we want to support fair trade, not only on the local level, but also on the national and international level. That's because we also have an international partnership with Drakenstein in South Africa. And from here, best regards to our friends in Drakenstein. They may watch now. So far, we sell a delicious fair trade certified partnership wine from the vineyards of Drakenstein in Neumarkt. You can see the delicious wine here, over there. And Drakenstein, as a South African municipality, is on the way to a fair trade city itself. We might be a middle-sized city, but we have big plans for the future. We're currently preparing the foundation of an academy for sustainability, where we are going to create educational materials and concepts in which fair trade is a core issue. To conclude our short presentation, in Neumarkt you can experience many fair trade initiatives. Like in other cities, we have some products here you can see, like in other cities too. Fair trade products, fair trade procurement is a big issue in Neumarkt. But I would say we more and more focus on building new structures to promote fair trade. So we founded the Department for Sustainability in the Municipal Administration in 2012. We were co-founders of the Fair Trade Agency for the Metropolitan Region in Nuremberg. with a focus on fair procurement and currently our Academy for Sustainability. Thank you very much for being shortlisted and being part of this ceremony. It's an honor to be nominated beside the other well-known cities. We are looking forward to many new collaborations. Thank you very much. Back to Ghent.
Thank you, Neumarkt. And last but not least, we have Stuttgart on the line for our final intervention of the day. Stuttgart, we are all yours. Please go ahead.
Welcome, the green fair trade city in the heart of Europe. Our vision is to be a livable city for and with the citizens. At the same time, we are also aware of our responsibility in the world. The Global Agenda 2030, with its 17 goals, is our joint agenda for a better world. We combine environmental, economic, and social challenge with international and Swabian spirit. We find creative, hands-on solutions in our city to tackle the pressing need of ethical and sustainable global transformation. The emphasis on fair trade provides the opportunity to achieve ecological, economic, and social objectives. Because the experiences of small and medium enterprises of ethical textile and fashion producers in Stuttgart and especially in the world have shed light on multiple issues. For example, the dependency on external buyers, limited market access, exploitation of disadvantaged employees. These vulnerabilities become especially prominent in times of health and economic crises, like in these days. Together with our partners, we aim to develop practical solutions to boost the conditions for ethical production worldwide. By running for this award, Stuttgart generates awareness of the importance of sustainable economic transformation. Cities worldwide are part of the current challenges, but they also play a central role in their solution. Therefore, we are looking forward to mutual learning and support within the international network of EU cities for fair and ethical trade. In this cooperative spirit, municipalities can work together to find solutions to the global challenges. Thank you for listening.
Vielen Dank, Stuttgart. Well, now we have listened to these 5 cities, which I personally feel are really setting the bar in terms of actually concretely advancing their vision for trading in an ethically and fair way. Now, I know you are very impatient, ladies and gentlemen, and we will announce the winner in a few minutes, but afterwards, please stay with us for the special mentions. It is not over yet. I think it is time that we let the European Commission Executive Vice President and Commissioner for Trade, Valdis Dombrovskis, announce the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, first let me acknowledge the quality of applications during this year. The amount of work that cities have put into their applications is very impressive, particularly in the context of COVID-19 crisis. The quality of the applications has made our jury decision particularly difficult, both for selecting a winner and for special mentions. But in the end, we managed to find some particularly outstanding candidates. An integral part of driving the change towards more sustainable consumption and production is to focus on the promotion of fair and ethical trade. This year's winner has succeeded in doing this for many years on end, holistically engaging its multicultural community of consumers, businesses and civil society. Thanks to the city's international ties, innovative procurement policies, multiple events and platforms, it has helped to create a vibrant ecosystem where it's easy for everyone to do the right thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to announce that the winner of the 2020 EU City for Fair and Ethical Trade is Malmö in Sweden. Congratulations.
We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Malmö. Well done. You are the city that is becoming the 2021 Sustainable Trade and Champion. Fantastic. So let's go straight to Malmö to see and hear a reaction.
Thank you very much for this award. It is a huge honor to be a winner. We have worked very hard and very diligently. We are overwhelmed. I mean, personally, as the chairman of the Fair Trade City in Malmö, I am overwhelmed. I'm very excited to see what this can mean for the future, both the future for fair and ethical consumption in Malmö, but as well as the city as a whole. And we take great pride in being the forerunners in fair and ethical trade. And now we get the chance to do just that in cooperation with ITC. And I just want to thank so many people with this award. It is not just the steering committee that has done a lot of work with Olof here, having driven a lot of the process, but it's also a prize for the citizens of Malmö, for the business of Malmö, for the Malmö as a whole as a community. And we'll do our utmost, and not mention all the NGOs, and we'll absolutely do our utmost to make sure we are fulfilling and continuing this journey toward a sustainable city. Thank you again very much. We are incredibly humbled to receive this prize as the EU's top city when it comes to fair and ethical trade.
Congratulations again to Malmö. Now, as a member of the award jury and representing the European Parliament, I would like to introduce Member of the European Parliament Helmut Scholz to share some congratulating words with us. Mr. Scholz, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear Minister Meryem Ketir, dear Director Eva Zinovic, dear Deputy Mayor Tina Heise, Council of the City of Ghent, dear Kanika Ahuja in India, dear mayors and councillors of the cities of Malmö, Stuttgart, Bremen, of Gothenburg, of Neumark, and of course also of Jelena Góra. It is with great honor and with great pleasure that I witness today for the second time the award ceremony for the European City of Fair and Ethical Trade. This award demonstrates the important role of cities and towns in changing our world, in making our trade relations finally fair and sustainable. Our common goal should be to make fair trade actually the normal form of trade. And it was wonderful to read the applications and to see so much creativity and dedication in all the cities which entered the competition this time. As a member of the jury, I can assure you that the choice was very difficult because the candidates were so good. But we have now a winner. Malmö, you are the best. And I wonder if you can sing a song after the ceremony. I wholeheartedly congratulate you for winning the prestigious award in 2020. For the next 2 years, you will be our ambassador city in promoting fair trade principles. With your convincing report, and concept. You are uniting environmental protection, sustainability, and fair trade principles. Your innovative idea to think beyond the traditional product range of fair trade shops and to launch a project of sustainable batteries deserves our support. Circular economy is a very important field of cooperation between the continents of our planet. And we should always look from our region, from our European Union to other regions in the world. Please continue your good work and spread the idea of fair trade when you are going to host the global networking event of cities in 2021. Please support the initiatives and activities in other partner cities in the growing network of fair trade cities. Please continue and expand cooperation with us in the European Parliament. And the European Parliament will always, with this working group for fair and ethical trade, reliable partner for the work of all fair trade cities. Thank you and congratulations once more.
Thank you so much for these kind words. And now it's official. We are passing the baton. So I would like to invite the Vice Mayor, Mrs. Heijsen, to come here. And of course, the winner, Malmö. I think.
Oh, thank you so much. This is a real honor, really. Thank you so much. And I don't know how we can say that.
May I ask you for the picture to come just about here? No, here, just in the front for the picture. And I can invite Eva too to join us for the picture.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. A true honor for the city. Thank you so much.
Okay, one to be please. Perfect. Thank you. Great.
Is that okay? Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you all.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you the ceremony is not over yet. I want to take the time to thank you all for being here virtually and here in person in Ghent. We have had a very high quality of applications this year, and the jury members decided that there was a real need for special mentions in different categories as some cities excelled. What are special mentions, you may ask? Well, we think it's important to promote the different ways cities are trying to implement fair and ethical trade. There are different ways to implement a change in trade, and clearly each city has managed to do so in its own very particular way, focusing on a specific approach which has become their forte. There are several categories and nominations in addition to the shortlisted cities who are also in the running for the special mentions. We also have an additional 3 cities which are Jelena Góra from Poland, Lübeck and Cologne from Germany. Following the nomination by the evaluation committee, the jury decided to award 5 special mentions in various categories, slightly varying from the categories in the first edition of this awards. So I would like to give the floor to Mrs. Sinjovic, but I will give a brief overview of each mention. We start with global partnerships and outlook, public procurement, rising champion, following community engagement, and last, monitoring impact.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to announce special mentions. I was chair of the jury, and it was really very difficult job to select the special mentions. Let me start with the first category, global partnerships and outlook. Acknowledging global responsibility and nurturing global partnerships are catalysts of sustainable trade and development. Building on successful efforts to engage its business community, to tackle environmental issues, this frontrunner operates numerous alliances and partnerships on topics that know no borders. The city promotes reusable packaging, human rights diligence along supply chains, and has developed an initiative to mainstream the sustainable development goals in cities' e-budgets. If you haven't guessed yet, the special mention for global partnerships and outlook goes to Bremen, Germany.
Thank you very much from Bremen here. We are extremely happy for this special mention. And to be honest, this is also a great motivation for us to do even more in the following 2 years together with our sister cities internationally and of course here in Bremen. And yeah, to reapply in 2 years and then yeah, hopefully be again shortlisted. So yeah, thank you very much to the jury. Thank you for the organizational team. And yeah, all the best here from Bremen. And back to you, Ghent.
Second category, it's public procurement. Public procurement is one of the most direct ways that cities can contribute to delivering on the principles of fair and ethical trade. The first special mention winner is a leader in sustainable procurement. This city has a holistic strategy and in several categories of its public procurement is quickly moving forward towards 100% of its purchases being fair trade certified. Ladies and gentlemen, the special mention for public procurement goes to Gothenburg, Sweden.
Hello again, Ghent. A big congratulations to our good friends in Malmö. And a big thank you for the special mention. The latest thing we've done is this Fairphone. Every person in Gothenburg who works with Gothenburg can now order one if they want to and if they need to, because you don't need to buy a new phone every time. But we're very happy and big congratulations again to Malmö. You're worth it. You're so worth it. Thank you.
Rising champion now. One of the goals of the EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade Award is to bring increased visibility to cities' leadership role in various areas of sustainable trade and to further inspire other cities. This new champion of fair trade in its country displayed great motivation to pursue fair trade as a way to bring benefits to its own citizens and the producers around the world. Panie i panowie, specjalne wyróżnienie dla miasta wschodzącego mistrza w zakresie sprawiedliwego i etycznego handlu idzie do Jelenia Góra, Poland.
Dzień dobry, Gandawa. Szanowni Państwo, w imieniu prezydenta miasta pana Jerzego Łużniaka oraz grupy koordynującej kampanię Miasto Przyjazne dla Sprawiedliwego Handlu w Jeleniej Górze składamy serdeczne podziękowanie za wyróżnienie miasta Jelenia Góra jako zaangażowanego w promowaniu działań na rzecz sprawiedliwego handlu odpowiedzialnej konsumpcji i zrównoważonego rozwoju. Jednocześnie składamy serdeczne gratulacje wszystkim miastom wyróżnionym w dzisiejszej edycji. Życzymy zdrowia, sukcesów i wszelkiej pomyślności dla mieszkańców i mieszkanek miasta Malmö. Życzymy wszystkim organizatorom i uczestnikom tego wspaniałego wydarzenia samych sukcesów w działaniach mających na celu dobro naszej planety, ludzkości i środowiska naturalnego. Dziękuję bardzo, pozdrawiam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie.
So, ladies and gentlemen, since this was in Polish, I will translate. On behalf of the President of the City, Mr. Jerzy Luzniak, and the group coordinating the Fair Trade City campaign in Jelenia Góra, Poland, we would like to express our sincere thanks for recognizing the city of Jelenia Góra as committed to promoting fair trade, responsible consumption, and sustainable development. At the same time, we would like to congratulate and wish further success, health, and all the best to the inhabitants of the city which obtained the main prize, Malmö. We wish all the organizers and participants of this wonderful event success in activities aimed at the good of our planet, humanity, and the natural environment. Please, Eva.
The next special mention, community engagement. Engaging the local communities is key to fostering a culture and future where fair and ethical trade is center stage. This city has an impressive number of projects aiming to raise citizens' awareness of sustainable lifestyles. It is also a pioneer in education for sustainable development and provides grants for small-scale educational activities which can make a big difference. Ladies and gentlemen, a special mention for community engagement goes to Neumarkt, Germany.
Yeah, we are overwhelmed. Thank you. And I can speak in behalf of the other participants today. It's really a great honor to get this special mention. And we go on with our projects. And as I mentioned before, for us it's very important to build structures, to come from project to structures. And that's our aim. And yeah, thank you again. We now think we just make our plans for the next steps. And thank you again. Would you like to add something?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
For the last, but certainly not least, special mention category, which is monitoring impact, we celebrate a city which has adopted the Sustainable Development Goals as a guiding principle to promote concrete sustainable policies and actions. Improving our understanding of the uptake of sustainable trade practices can only be done through rigorous monitoring and evaluation. This city has implemented an effective and innovative monitoring system based on the Sustainable Development Goals, which can greatly inspire other cities when formulating future actions and policy making. Ladies and gentlemen, the special mention for monitoring impact goes to Stuttgart, Germany.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We are very delighted and feel honored to be especially mentioned in the category Monitoring Impact. And I want to show you the woman behind all this. In 1973, our first fair trade shop opened in Stuttgart, and since then we have come a long way in establishing fair trade in Stuttgart. We owe these especially mentioning to our active civil society, business and academic organizations, to our creative partners in our twin towns, and to the dedicated members of the City Council and administration. And together with the international network of EU cities for fair and ethical trade, we find creative solutions for global issues of sustainable transformation. It's all about people, prosperity, peace, and partnership, the core of the UN Agenda 2030. We dedicate the award and the special mentioning, what's the same for us, to our fair trade pioneer, Mr. Müller, and to our partners in our twin towns. Thank you for your inspiration. We are really happy. Bye.
And ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 cities represented here in Ghent, so this is the perfect opportunity to take a photo. Eva, may I ask you to come here? First of all, we have the city of Bremen. I think we can turn that way for the photo moment. Thank you, and congratulations again. Eva, please stay with me, because we have another city here represented, Gothenburg. Please. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Eva. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for sharing this moment with us. This was the award ceremony of the EU Cities for Fair and Ethical Trade 2021. I know, and I've said it before, we can't all be together right now, but we are all connected through this common goal of making cities more sustainable, more fair and ethical, and a wonderful place for citizens all over the world to live, work and spend time in. Thank you, Ghent, for hosting this ceremony. Thank you, Eva, for being present today. Thank you, Minister, for being present today. Congratulations again to our sustainable trade champion, Malmö, and to all the special mentions. I would also extend a warm goodbye to ITC from Geneva and everyone from the European Parliament. To all cities who applied, may you continue on this brave path you are walking and taking right now. May you continue to be an inspiration for other cities in the future. To all of you here, and of course, virtually, thank you. If you are in the office or at work or at home, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourselves and each other, and may we see each other very soon in good health and spirit. Godspeed, and thank you very much.